hold on, wait, wait. Don't go away. I gotta intrude here. All right, it was probably a cheap bit, but I'm Ben Dooley, MCC coach, and I am here to talk with you about the skill of intruding. Why am I talking about intruding? Well, because these videos are designed to inspire, to strengthen, to deepen, to grow, to expand your coaching. That's what I'm here for. I am here to I'm here to intrude on the pathway that you're on and redirect and get you moving bigger, deeper, faster. That's what I'm here for. To really make a profound stretch and change and growth in you and your coaching. And if I got to jump in the middle of where you're going in your trajectory, I'm happy to do that. And that's what this video is for. Also, it's right in timeline with the Coaching Skills Forum. Now, if you have not been on these calls, I can tell you, coach, you are missing out on amazing things. These calls are the longest running, continually coach growing calls that are out there. Free. They're free. They always have been, always will be. They're amazing. Twice a month, coaches gather, including me, and we explore in deep, provocative detail, great conversations about each of our individual coaching skills, including the skill of intruding, which is coming up. And truly, I run into so many coaches who struggle with how to intrude, why to intrude, when should I intrude, what's the difference between intruding and interrupting, all of that. And really, truly, on the Coaching Skills Forum calls, we're going to blast through all of that and more. I can tell you, in the first 10 minutes, we're going to get through what everybody else trains, and the rest goes deep, truly. And if you can't make it for that one, come to the other ones, because we've been doing this for 21 years more, and you're missing. I don't want you to miss any more. I want you to join these calls and get in so that you will notice your coaching shift and deepen and grow in amazing ways. And as I said, they're free. Go to coachingskillsforum.com. Now, let's talk about intruding. Intruding, it's taught. Most schools tell you you need to intrude. Not a lot of schools in training tell you how to intrude and when to intrude and why to intrude. That all they say is, okay, you just got to get there and intrude. But, and I know you know this, how many times have you intruded and it wasn't a good idea? Or you intruded, you actually interrupted, you actually shut down, or you derailed the client in their thinking or in their processing because you were told you're supposed to intrude, and then it didn't work the right way, or it wasn't appropriate, or something. See, here's the problem. Just intruding because the client is going into a story is not the reason to intrude. Just to intrude because you haven't spoken in a while is not the reason to intrude. Just to intrude because your client is kind of rambling and kind of going around and around is not the reason to intrude. In fact, most of the reasons why you've been told by your trainers, by your mentors, by experts, most of the reasons that you've been told why and when to intrude is not really accurate. It's maybe their sort of generic reason, but it's not about the specific instance, the specific moment of when you are intruding and why you are intruding. So I'm going to help you out a little bit, but I'm telling you, go to the Coaching Skills Forum. And if you missed the call on the website, we've archived the recording, so you can go check it out there. But get this, I'm going to talk about some other things that we're not going to get on that call. But let's talk about, first off, the purpose of intruding. Why? Why really are we intruding? And we're not talking about intruding what the client is saying. We're not talking about intruding on their stories. We're not talking about intruding on anything that is typically what's happening in the moment. What we're talking about is we're actually intruding. We're getting in the way of the client's normal pathway, their normal behaviors, their normal, steady, constant, well-worn ways of thinking, well-established ways of emotions and feelings, intruding on their locked-in mindsets and beliefs and truths and even their courses of action. We're intruding on that. The very fact that you're coaching is an intrusion on their habits, on their normal, steady ways. Do you get that? Before you do anything, all those brilliant questions, all those brilliant tools that you've been giving, before you do anything, the very fact that you are having a coaching conversation is intruding on their status quo, their norm, their habits already. But that's what you're doing every single moment. You actually are intruding. You're wedging yourself into their life, to their trajectory, to their plans, to their course of action, to their beliefs, to their everything. You are already intruding on very sort of background ways. Now, I know that's not what you've been taught. It's okay. I'm going to go into that as well. I'm just talking about the bigger scope of what intruding is they're going this way and you're altering them. Your physics, an object in motion stays in motion unless it is met with a different force, or however it goes, right? So if I'm going this way, I will keep going this way. Actually, let's say, if I'm going this way, I will keep going this way. Unless circumstances come along and bump me down. Or circumstances come along and bump me up. And that's typically what happens. We end up going through our regular course of action, going through our day, going through our plans, and we're just kind of going and going and going. And then something happens outside of us that alters our trajectory, alters our momentum, alters our direction and our flow. That's it. That's life, right? Now, coaching, you are coming in and intentionally inserting yourself into the client's conversation. Welcome, by the way, it's invited. You're not just forcing yourself in, but you are altering their trajectory constantly in so many different ways. When you're asking them about challenging their thoughts and their habits and their behaviors, when you're clarifying and specifying their action steps, and when you're honing in and revealing limiting beliefs and all of these things that are coaching, you are actually intruding. You get that? Okay. Now, when we talk about the action, the deliberate action of cutting in on what the client is talking about. See, you get what I'm pointing to? What you've been taught is the small intruding. This is beginner intruding. Oh, your client is talking a long time. You need to interrupt them. But we talk about intruding is you are coming in and adding impact and influence, and you're offering new energy to alter their course, to shift how they're thinking, to move their emotions to a different direction, to open up and create new beliefs and new possibilities, and to reveal new directions and actions. Every single moment you are intruding. including the jumping in and inserting and cutting off your client's story, all that stuff. So I hope this makes sense. I'm talking about a bigger picture. Why? Well, because I train MCC coaches, right? And I train master coaches, masterful coaches who really show up deeply and powerfully. Anybody can interrupt, and interrupting stops the motion. Right? You get that? Client is moving along and I'm going to interrupt it. Hold on, wait, stop everything. Intruding is clients moving along and hold on, let me get in and shift this. That's all that we're doing. We are not stopping the client's momentum. We're not blocking their thoughts. We're not creating a resistance or deflating or deflecting or anything like that. We are simply stepping in and giving them a little nudge in some other direction than where they are going, and still keeping their trajectory moving forward, maybe a little more refined and focused and clarified. Okay, so there's so much more about intruding. And I hope that this is stirring up. If you want more, please come back to more. Go to coachingskillsforum.com and go to these calls. Contact me. Oh, I'm here to intrude upon your status quo of coaching and totally kick you into a higher, deeper, fuller level. And I'm not done yet, because I want to talk to you a little bit more about the 3 core principles of masterful coaching. If you've watched any of these other videos, you know this is where I'm going. Ben, are you going to get to it? Come on. You probably should have intruded, and I'm just kidding. But let's talk about these 3 core principles and how they tie in with intruding. And get this. And if this is your first call, buckle up, because this is what we're really talking about. The 3 principles of masterful coaching. The first one is all about connection. We must have connection with our clients. If we're not connected, then coaching cannot exist, period, exclamation point. And when we're connecting, that is where we are in partnership. That is where we are in relationship. That is where we have flow. And oh my goodness, that is where we have intruding, not blocking. That's not connected. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. I don't like this. I think you should. That's interrupting. And that's 2 individuals that are going to battle out as to who is going to win. Intruding is filling in the gaps, combining your effort and energy, and stepping in partnership. In other words, connecting. Oh man, it just writes itself, doesn't it? When you are in a mode of pure connection with your client, I promise you, your intruding will always be right. It will always be appropriate. It will always be beautiful, profound. It might be messy, but you're connected and you can deal with it. Connecting. When you are committed to connection in all the different ways, intruding happens at a much deeper and profound level. Get this right. By the way, the second principle in the core principles of our masterful coaching, is all about revealing. Interrupting doesn't reveal. Intruding is going into and shifting the client's attention and focus to where they're not looking. In other words, client, you're revealing all this crap that is totally feeding the problem, and it's keeping you stuck. I'm going to intrude to reveal things that need to be seen and heard and recognized, so that we can work with this, we can deal with this, we can handle this much more effectively. That's the purpose of intruding. Every single moment you are intruding, you are absolutely revealing. You are absolutely connecting. That is your purpose. When you intrude, you are connecting with them. When you intrude, it's all about revealing. And the third principle really, really hits here, which is all about empowering the client. Everything you do in your coaching, every single moment, you must absolutely keep the deep, profound focus of empowering the client. I can tell you right now, there's so much more to each of these. This is the base of my advanced coach training program. But I can tell you right now, you already have a huge heads up. Because, right, you get this. When your whole attention is, I'm here to empower my clients, knowing when and how to intrude is going to be easy and effortless, because you're not here to interrupt, and it's not about you and your ego or doing it right, doing it wrong. Oh no, it's all about, hold on. I'm getting in the middle of your story. I am inserting myself in your action. I am intruding on your course and your direction in order to point you back to your power, your true power. It's all there. And I really hope you're getting this, because that's what these videos are here for, to intrude on your normal status quo of coaching, the way you think about your coaching skills, the way that you employ your coaching skills, the way that you feel about them, the beliefs that you have about them, and what is truly coaching, and how you are here to be a powerful, beautiful, amazing, magical, and intruding coach. Your clients need this from you on so many ways, beyond what you've been taught. And that's what I'm here for. So I hope this has stirred you up. I hope this has inspired you truly. Make comments. Put some comments below. I'd love seeing what you're getting from this and what's stirring up. And by the way, you could disagree with this, but I can tell you, I appreciate the challenge and the, dare I say, intrusion, because I'm just speaking from my own wisdom, my own experience, my own design and direction. But you know what? Every time I do this work and I engage with another coach who has a different opinion or a question or a thing that doesn't quite land or make sense, or an insight that actually intrudes on my course and direction, it opens me up. It helps me think better and deeper and richer and stronger, that I can bring it to other coaches. You get how this is going? My invitation to you is to intrude politely, respectfully, in a coaching design. Intrude powerfully, connect, reveal, and empower. And when you're ready for more, come back for more. And until then, I wish you happy, fantastic. Oh no, here comes the end. It's going to intrude upon actually, it's probably going to interrupt, but we're going to find out. I wish you happy, wonderful. Hey there, you beautiful, amazing, fantastic, delicious, razzle-dazzle, and masterful coach. Yes, you, masterful coach, because you're watching this, which tells me you are a masterful coach. There's more to learn, and that's where I come in. Go to bedo.org. You'll also see it right here. And go to bedo.org, and that's where you're going to find tons of other materials, resources, videos, recordings, audios, free calls, a free membership level, tons of stuff, incredible amounts of materials just for you. Regardless of whatever level of coach you are right now, you are going to find tremendous value and resource. And it's all here at bedo.org. bedo.org. Go check it out, and I will see you there.